Tobacco and nicotine retailer compliance. Understanding local and state regulations. In this video, we will cover important information related to local and state regulations and permitting. This video may be used as an additional training resource and shared with staff members of stores selling tobacco and nicotine products to promote the understanding of local and state regulations. In this video, we will cover when to check ID, acceptable and unacceptable forms of ID, the most common violations, compliance checks, manufacturer flavor letters, the penalty structure, and new regulation changes in New Bedford. When to check ID. At adult only or 21 plus smoke shops, ID must be checked at the door to confirm that only customers over the age of 21 are entering the store. No one under 21 is allowed inside adult only smoke shops. There are no exceptions to this law. At all other stores selling tobacco and nicotine products, including convenience stores, gas stations, and liquor stores, an acceptable form of identification must be checked at the time of sale. This would be right after the customer asks for the product and before payment is collected. When a customer attempts to buy a tobacco or nicotine product, the law states that their ID must always be checked regardless of age. This means that no matter how old the customer appears to be, you must check their identification even if they are a regular customer. Acceptable forms of ID include a driver's license, liquor ID, military ID, passport, or a U.S. immigration card. Unacceptable forms of ID include work-issued ID badges, school IDs, including those issued by universities, non-photo IDs, including Social Security cards, permanent residency cards from other countries, and credit cards that have photos on them. Violations and penalties. A store will receive a violation if they sell to a person under 21 years old, offer flavored tobacco or nicotine products for sale, or if there are flavored tobacco or nicotine products anywhere in the store. This is referred to as holding, keeping, or possessing flavored tobacco products. A store will receive a violation if they offer for sale a vape product that contains more than 35 milligrams per milliliter or 3% nicotine. Vape products with more than this amount of nicotine can only be sold in 21 plus smoke shops. A store will receive a violation if they allow any tobacco or nicotine product to be displayed in an area that is accessible to a customer. For example, displaying a new product on the checkout counter within reach of the customer, storing fronto leaves in self-service beverage coolers, or having unlocked cigar humidors on the sales floor. These are all prohibited by law. All tobacco and nicotine products must be out of customer reach. This regulation does not apply to 21 plus smoke shops. Self-service is allowed in these stores as customer identification is checked at the door. These measures are in place to prevent youth access to tobacco and nicotine products. For the full list of offenses that result in violations, see 105 CMR 665 and the New Bedford Board of Health regulations restricting the sale of tobacco and nicotine products. Compliance checks. Compliance checks are conducted by multiple agencies, including your local Board of Health, the Food and Drug Administration, Massachusetts Health Officers Association, and others. These agencies hire people under the age of 21 to attempt to purchase tobacco and nicotine products in retail stores. It is crucial to always check identification to avoid selling to a minor. The goal is 100% compliance in not selling tobacco or nicotine to people under 21. Manufacturer flavor letters. Each tobacco and nicotine product for sale in your store must have a signed letter from the manufacturer stating that the product is unflavored and is legal for sale in Massachusetts. Your distributor should be able to provide you with these letters. If they cannot, then the product may not be sold. Letters must be kept on file in the store and available to review upon inspection. Penalty structure. For a first violation, a $1,000 fine is issued. If the violation is for selling to a minor, then the store's permit to sell tobacco and nicotine is also suspended for 3 days. For the second violation, a $2,000 fine is issued, and the store's permit to sell tobacco and nicotine is suspended for 7 days. Store personnel must also go before the Board of Health for a review of store practices. For the third violation, a $5,000 fine is issued, and the store's permit to sell tobacco and nicotine is suspended for 30 days. Store personnel must go before the Board of Health for a permit revocation hearing. Any and all violations can be appealed to the Board of Health in writing within 7 days of receiving the violation. New regulation changes in New Bedford. Beginning on January 1st, 2025, the following new regulations will take effect. Smoking bars will be prohibited in the city of New Bedford. No on-site consumption of tobacco or nicotine will be permitted in any bar, club, or place of business. Retailers may request a variance hearing from the Board of Health to transfer a permit to a new location within the city. If approved, the new location must be at least 500 feet away from another tobacco retailer and at least 500 feet away from a K-12 school. Beginning on January 1st, 2025, cigars will now have a mandated minimum price for sale. One cigar must be sold for $2.90 or more. Two or more cigars must be sold for $5.80 or more. Copies of regulations can be picked up at the New Bedford Health Department or found online at our website. Questions and information. If you have any questions about regulations or about tobacco and nicotine products or sales practices, please feel free to call your Regional Tobacco Control Office located at the New Bedford Health Department at 508-991-6199 or text 508-496-3536. This video was made in partnership with the New Bedford Health Department and the Southeastern Massachusetts Public Health Collaborative.